Okay, guys, wanted to run through corrections for question 6 and 7. People seem to be having a bit of trouble with a couple of those, so I wanted to run through full corrections of these to make sure we're clear on what to do. So, the reading of the question here is the most important part, okay? You got to be really careful as to how you're looking at the question and how you're reading the question to make sure that you can understand what's happening clearly. So, we can see in this one to start off with, question 6, we can see what's going on, and it says let y be a number. So we're letting y be a number, and it says write an expression in terms of y for the next consecutive number. So if y was a number, let's say, for example, let's say y was 5, the next consecutive number would be 6. If y was 82, the next consecutive number would be 83. If y was 104, the next one would be 105. Now have a look. What is happening? Each time, the next consecutive number, all I've done is what to each thing? All I've done is added 1. Okay? So if y is the number that I'm talking about, then my next consecutive number is simply y plus 1. Okay? So remember, we're on question 6. And this is part A, as far as I know. So, y plus 1 is my start point there. The question then says, these write an expression in terms of y for the next consecutive number. We've done that. So we've got y plus 1 as part A. It says these two consecutive numbers are added together. Okay? These two consecutive numbers. So the consecutive numbers that I'm talking about are y and y plus 1. Because y was the start and y plus 1 was the next one. So that's the three of them together. It says write an expression in terms of y for the resulting number. So I've got y plus 1, and that would become 2y plus 1, because y and y is me 2y. Very simple. Okay? Part C. Write an equation. These two consecutive numbers add up to 45. So I now know it's telling me that 2y plus 1 come together to give me 45. That's what it's saying. It says write an equation to show this information. That's what I've done. 2y plus 1 is equal to 45. And then finally, so 2y plus 1 is equal to 45. That's my equation that shows this information. These together add up to 45. So 2y plus 1 is equal to 45. And then finally, part D asks to solve it, to figure out what y is. Okay? So all I got to do is go and put my 2y plus 1 is equal to 45. And I'm going to solve that. I'm going to come over here because I've got a little bit more space here, and I'm going to pop it into this box. Alright? So I've got 2y plus 1 is equal to 45. And then I just solve for y. So 2y is equal to 45 minus 1. Because I brought the 1 over, it's becoming negative. 2y is equal to 44. And then to solve for y, all I got to do to finish off is 44 divided by 2. Because the 2 over here is multiplying, so when I bring it over, it becomes a divide. So 44 divided by 2 is 22. So I can say that y is equal to 22. Done. Alright, so that's all of question 6. We'll move on now and we'll look at question 7. So we're starting question 7, and I'll go back and check what it says now. So, question 7. Barry has X computer games. His sister Anne has 3 times as many. 3 times as many, sorry. Let's go blue here. 3 times as many. So, again, it's not working. Hold on for a second. I'll go back to that. No. So 3 times as many. Doesn't matter. Barry has X computer games and his sister Anne has 3 times as many as him. So if Barry has got X computer games, Barry has X, his sister Anne has 3 times that much. So, and remember, let's just think about this in terms of what we were talking about already. If he has 2 computer games and his sister has 3 times as many, she would have 6. If he had 10 computer games, his sister has 3 times as many, so she would have 30. So we can see what's happening each time. Got to think about it and put it in context. Okay, if we're getting really stuck on these, put a number on it. Tell me what X is. Pick a number, just guess one, pluck one out of the air and say, right, if X was 2, then she would have 6 games. If he had 10 games, she would have 30. What's happening each time there? I'm multiplying by 3. So if Barry's number of games is X, then his sister's number of games would be 3X. 3 times whatever Barry has. It's Anne, I think, isn't it? Is her name? So Anne has 3 times as many than Barry. So that's it. So A, write an expression in X for the number of computer games that Anne has, and it is 3X, very simply. Okay? So we've done that. So A is 3X. Perfect. Next part, it says, Anne gives 5 computer games to Barry. Write an expression in X for the number of computer games that Anne has now. So remember, she's got 3 times as many as Barry. She has 3X games. But then she gives 5 to Barry. So the number of games that she's got has decreased by 5. So it's 3X minus 5. So that now tells me how many games that Anne has after she's given the 5 to Barry. Alright. So that's B done. It now says write an expression in X for the number of computer games that Barry has now. Now Barry started off with X amount of games. X games. Yeah. He's been given 5. So he now has 5 more than he used to. Very simple. X plus 5. Because the 5 that came from Anne have now been given to Barry. Okay? So that's what the story is now. So Barry has that many games, X plus 5, and Anne has 3X minus 5. Finally, last 2 parts then, it says Anne now has twice as many computer games as her brother. So Anne now has twice as many as her brother. Write an equation in X to show this info, and how many computer games did each have initially. So I now know that the value that we've got for Anne's games is twice as much as this one, as Barry's. Okay, so from that, and now this is the tricky part, but hopefully it makes sense now. Anne has that many games. We now know that that is the same as twice as much as what Barry has. So 3X minus 5 is equivalent to twice as much as what Barry has. Remember, again, that's Anne, and what's in the brackets is Barry. Anne has twice as much as Barry. Okay, so that's what we've said there now. So to finish that off, part E asks, how many computer games did they each have initially? So I want to know the value of X, which was Barry's number of games at the very start, and I want to know the number or the value of 3X, which was Anne's number of games at the very start. So I've got 3X minus 5, and I'm going to start again up here. I've got 3X minus 5 is equal to 2 by X plus 5. Yeah, that's what we are given at the very start. And all I got to do now is solve for X. So I use my algebra, multiply out my brackets, bring my x's to the left, bring my numbers to the right, and I solve for x. So that stays as is for now, and I get rid of these brackets. 2x plus 10. 2 by x and 2 by 5. 2 by x and 2 by 5 gives me that. Then I want to bring x's over here. I'm going to bring numbers over there. So I'm going to end up with 3x minus 2x, because when I bring that 2x over, it becomes a minus, is equal to 10. That was there already. And I bring the minus 5 over, it becomes a plus 5. Oh, sorry, plus 5. Not 15. Plus 5. Okay. Then to finish off, all I got to do is 3x minus 2x gives me x, and 10 plus 5 is 15. So that tells me that x was equal to 15. That was how many games that Barry had at the very start, wasn't it? So Barry had x number of games, and I've now figured out that x was 15. So Barry owned 15 games and owned 3x, 3 times as many as Barry. So all I got to do is 3 by 15, and that gives me 45, and that makes sense, okay, because that number times 3 gives me that. So that's it. Question 6, question 7 done, and hopefully you can use those then to answer the exam paper questions that I've given you today. Thank you.